should you join a real estate team? That's an excellent question. I wish there was a perfect answer. The answer is it depends. It depends on a lot of factors that I'm going to review in this episode today. So at the end of this, you'll be able to, at the very least, have all the information available for you to go and do this research on your own and then make a decision that's the right fit for you. Let's talk about a few things. The word team can be defined in a number of different aspects. You could have a team where an agent is an individual agent and they're listing and selling and doing a lot of business, and they have extra leads or business that they might have because they're doing so much business, and they go, look, I'll give you these deals. They might consider that a team, or give you these opportunities. They wouldn't be deals. I wish it was deals. Give you these opportunities. I've also seen team be defined as a collective of agents that work together that share and pool resources. Then you have teams where you have a actual team structure, and the goal of that team is for those agents that are a part of that organization to have the most success possible and to become very successful and elite real estate professionals. And then generally you would have individual agents, or what we call solo agents. All of this comes down to the right fit. So there could be a number of ways that this could work for you. Some of the questions you're going to want to ask yourself when deciding if you should join an organization is, am I able to produce enough leads on my own? Meaning that, am I going to be able to get into this business? Or I hear this all the time, I did 5 deals my first year, 9 deals my first year, I did 20 deals my first 2 years, and then I'm just struggling. And also, maybe I don't enjoy it, lead generating and doing all these things and looking at return of investment and cost per click and all of that. Maybe you just enjoy working with clients and you don't want to have to be so focused on individual lead generation. Then maybe a team could be right for you. Here's some of the stats we know. So with leads, we know that internet leads, for example, convert at about a 3% conversion ratio. So this is your pay-per-click, Google local service leads. So that means you would have to have 100 of them to sell 3. 100 leads to close 3 homes, with the average turn rate of an actual buyer internet lead being about 550 days. What I mean by that is when you receive a lead, they could buy right now, which would be awesome. They might not buy for 5 years. Everywhere in between there is where that buyer's at in their current situation. So when you're buying leads, you have to make sure that you have a nurture system, you have a process, you have all these things that you're doing to cultivate a database. In real estate, we live and die by our database and our ability to nurture and provide excellent value so we can be in relationships with our clients, and in the future at some point they'll do a real estate transaction with us or refer real estate business to us. So that's one of the big things, is we have to think about leads. The second thing I want you to think about, do I want to handle all of the transaction management myself, right? So if I'm going to be considering a team, then I want to make sure, well, hey, do you handle the transaction management? Meaning that when I list a property and I put it on the market, do you take care of the photography, the write-ups, the postcards, the brochures? Do you have the presentation material for me to actually go on a listing presentation? Do you have a system? Do you actually have a value package of what you offer to sellers? Do you have a buyer package, what we call our buy with confidence package? Do you have a buyer scenario so that I can provide value to buyers and help them get the home that they want in the time they want? If you want to create all of this on your own, then maybe the individual agent role is the way that you want to go. But if you're looking at a very well-oiled real estate team, they're going to provide all of these things to you. You want to make sure you think about transaction management, because what usually happens in real estate, an agent will get a deal, work with that deal, just again, focus all their time and energy on the deal, not do the rest of the lead gen, building relationships, nurturing, and all this. Then they'll get another deal, and then they process that deal, and this roller coaster goes on and on. With most successful teams, the goal is to have very specific, specialized people doing a very specific role. So you've got someone that is handling the marketing, someone that's handling the transaction management. You have someone that's handling all the leads. You have a director of lead generation or a president of lead generation. You have ISAs, inside sales associates, that are cultivating and nurturing leads to set appointments for you. So those are are some big decisions to think about, is just going, am I going to handle that on my own, which you can, of course, and certainly not impossible, or would I rather have that done so I can do what I enjoy, which is working with buyers and sellers and building relationships? Just depends on who you are. The next piece that I want you to think about, and this is a big one, are you able to hold yourself highly accountable? Real estate is all about accountability, meaning that a lot of us got into this business because we go, you know what? I never want to have a job. I never want to work with anyone ever again. The side effect of that is when you don't work consistently and intelligently and smart, doesn't mean you're working more, but when you are working that you're very dialed in and you have someone else helping you understand how to dial that in, then a lot of times you kind of are like, you kind of just bounce around and and you flow. For our real estate team, and I can't speak of others, I can only speak of ours, is our goal is to help everyone focus and get to where they want to go. If you're an individual that has extremely high accountability and you're like the most disciplined person on earth, then that could be a consideration. Doesn't still mean that you're not right for a team. You might come into the team and be the #1 star of the team and still enjoy it. But it's very difficult to be an individual agent if you can't have a lot of individual accountability, okay? Because all of a sudden it's X amount of time in the morning and you're going, do I really want to make this phone call, or do I want to call my mom, or go to Starbucks, or all the other distractions out there? I always talk to people and I say, look, I'm just trying to help my real estate team get to the real estate Olympics. You want to be elite, you want to be one of the best that's ever done it, or not even maybe the best. Maybe you just want to be very successful and have a lot of free time with your family. Not every agent should sell 200 homes. Not every agent should sell 5 homes. It really just depends on what you're wanting out of this. That doesn't even matter if a team's right for you. It matters is, in that process, are you getting where you want to go? Are you having the life-changing money and experience that you want to have? Are you doing unbelievable things for your charity because of how much you're able to help people? Are you making sure that everyone in your life is taken care of? Those should be the things that we're thinking about. We're just talking about what path helps you get there. The other thing you need to think about is, do you have the systems and tools available to do this on your own, or would you rather have someone be able to provide those? When we're talking about systems and tools, we're talking about CRMs, so the contact management systems, built-out campaigns, text campaigns, email campaigns, artificial intelligence, all this website flow, everything is working. So when you're nurturing these things, all this amazing stuff, do you have dialer systems? Do you have a structure for the things that you need to do every single month to have success? Do you have what we call a 33 touch system, a custom 33 touch system that makes sure that your clients are falling in love with you every single day and on a yearly basis, year after year? Are you working on your haven't met system? Do you have the ability to understand how to target and market your farm so you can start building that and doing all of those things? Those are some of the things that a lot of teams will provide. The great teams, some other teams maybe not so much, that's why you do your research. They provide so that you can grow a business, and they know they've already hit those hurdles, and they're going, look, we already hit that hurdle, we figured that out 10 years ago, so you don't have to go ram your head into the brick wall. A lot of shortcuts come with that situation. Another piece that we want to make sure that we understand, in joining a team, a lot of times agents are concerned that, well, hey, you know what? I really wanted to build my own business. Am I going to be able to have my own marketing and do all of my different things? Here's the thing that we know that I think is an interesting stat. When they surveyed all sellers across America, when they asked them, what do you care about most when it comes to selecting a real estate professional? Only 2% of them said the agent's personal brand. 2% said personal brand was one of the reasons that they moved forward with an agent. If you think about that, personal brand doesn't necessarily matter in growing your business. What matters in growing your business is your database, right? And nurturing your database and building a really successful database that grows over time. Now, you can do that as an individual agent, you can do that on a team, and both will work. It just depends on, what do you feel comfortable with? Do you like doing this on your own, or do you like to be in a community? It really comes down to that. It comes down to that fit. And the next thing I always talk about is validity. So a lot of times it's easier to join a highly successful, high producing real estate team, because when you walk in that door of that $2 million listing, you're going to say we and not I. Yes, we've sold X amount of homes. We are highly specialized in the luxury market. We You might even take one of the other agents on the team that have been on tons of luxury listing presentations with you to make sure that you're able to secure that opportunity. That could be very helpful. It's difficult when you're an individual agent to go and have that level of validity when you walk into the door. Doesn't mean you can't. You could say that my company or something else along those lines. That's another, decision you need to help kind of make as you go through this process. There's a lot of decisions here. The last one that I'll talk about, and this is one I think is obviously important to me and was important to my success. Do I have a coach, a mentor, and the training I need to get to where I want to be? That's huge. Now, you hear all the time offices that are saying, we offer the best training on earth. We offer this, we offer that. We have the best virtual training ever on the planet. We have avatars and all this. That's not training. Training is, are you sitting down with someone and you're going through an actual scenario of the listing presentation, buyer consultation? Is someone going, hey, look, no. You turned left there. You should have turned right. Hey, let me help you through some of the things that are not going right here so we can help your conversion so you can work less and make more. That's all we're looking at a lot of times is, can I work less and make more and build great relationships with everyone that's in my database? That's what we're shooting for here. It just matters on how you get there is what that looks like. So you can hire coaches. Obviously, I also own a coaching company. You can be a part of a team that has coaching built into it, and role play and practicing and getting certified on your listing presentation, buyer consultation, lead nurture system. Or you can go and try to do it on your own. Not saying, it sounds like in this video I'm saying, hey, it sounds like the individual agent's the hard way to go. It is harder. I'm not going to say for a second it's not harder. Any individual agent will tell you, hey, that's doing a lot of business, it wasn't easy to get to where I'm at. It's not going to be easy on a real estate team either. It's going to depend on how you fit. Do you like to do things as an individual and create that kind of world yourself? Do you like to be a part of a community? That's what you're really thinking about here. In closing, as you're making this decision, here's some major pro tips I want you to think about. Make sure that when you're looking at a team to join, that you understand what you're getting into and you understand what they offer and you understand what you're responsible for, right? I always make sure that when I'm talking to someone, an agent partner, we call them agent partners in our organization that might be wanting to join us, I want to make sure they're very clear on, this is what we're going to do to get you to where you want to go, and this is what you're responsible for doing to get you to where you want to go. It is a partnership. Not all teams are going to be that same design. Not all scenarios are going to be the same way. Of course, do your research. That's going to be a big piece. Number two, think about the other piece is, how fast do I want to get to where I want to go? A lot of successful teams are just going to take away a lot of these hurdles that you might face on the front side and really help that fast track get there, right? Really get there maybe a little bit quicker. Not all the time. Again, just depends on the right team and if you join the right team and if it's a good fit and all of these factors, right? Then the last piece to consider when you're making this decision and really think this through before you understand it. What value do I bring to that organization? One day, am I going to be helping new agents that join get to where they want to go? Do I want to be a coach someday and really help support others? Do I work well in a group? Do I like going to group events and doing things? If you're not a team player, then why throw yourself into a team? Then you're just going to come there, you're going to try to do your own thing, and you're going to be frustrated, they're going to be frustrated, and it's not going to work. So just make sure, what value can I bring? How am I going to be a good part of this community? Can I see myself in the future being, one of the higher ups in this organization and really developing to grow to be extremely successful? And that just depends on your personality style, who you are. Here's some things to look out for. Let me be very clear on some things to look out for. If a team is trying to recruit you and going, you got to join my team. I'm amazing. You don't have any idea how good we are. And if you don't join my team, that would make me a little bit nervous. They're really going after this and we haven't even had a conversation yet. How do you know if I'm going to be a good fit on your team? How do I know we're going to work well together? All of this if we haven't had this ability to find out all of these facts. So watch out for that. Watch out for the people going, just join me today. Join me today. If you join, you're going to have success. That stuff drives me insane. Make sure you do your research and see if it's a good fit. Call one of their other team members. Ask them how they feel that the team is. Talk to people in the organization. All of that stuff will definitely give you a bigger picture to make the right decision. If you're out there and you're thinking about joining a team, feel free to connect with us. I'm more than happy to talk to you about it. Whether our organization, an outside organization, I know we have people all over the country that are enjoying these episodes. Share this with someone that might be considering it right now, right? Share this video with them. Leave me your comments. Let me know any other things that you think you should consider before joining a team. And as always, I wish all of you great success.